Professor, I said
Part-3.
that WNE, FinTech, and AI Incubator is the place where our startup and entrepreneur journey started. And we have received incredible help, support, always and everywhere. And you are one of them, like, who was always there for us on any time, any types of help, any types of support. uh, so what is your, what do you think, why you are always and every time available for us for any kind of help?
Well, number one, when a team looks like it is motivated, right? Not only myself, but I suspect others as well feel like that your effort as well is contributing to something. It's not going to be a wasted effort, right? And I don't know, speaking for others, but speaking for myself, it feels that way, that this is a team that's committed. And yeah, that commitment shows. And so whatever I can do to help this team get to the next level, yeah, why not?
Yeah, Professor, you say that, okay, you saw that our team was motivated, committed. Like, how can you say we were motivated? Like, what was the indication? What are the things that we did that really so that we were motivated and committed?
Number one, the team assigns roles and responsibilities. So as a team, you can already see that this team is functioning.
Okay.
Somebody is assigned this. You talk to the team, you find that the team is meeting regularly. Right? Remember I was saying things are moving. And
Yeah.
obviously, if a team is meeting regularly, you can't just be meeting to look at each other, right?
Yeah.
You're meeting to do
To
something,
do something.
right?
Okay.
So it feels like the team is meeting, they're doing something. And then also, I talk to other people, right? Whether I'm talking to folks in Boston, and invariably, the name of your team comes up. It means you've been talking to those people, right?
Okay. Wow. We didn't
So,
know that.
so yeah. So they know it, I know it, and they yeah. So it's somebody is also reaching out to other people, right? So it's those factors that then convince that the folks are very interested in getting this thing to work, right? And typically, a lot of things don't get off or work by yourself, right? You need others to help you, right? And so, where we can help, we'll help you because you're putting in the effort.
Wow. Thank you, Professor. We didn't know that. Professor, where do you see the future of AI, and also where do you see the future of WNE FinTech and AI Incubator?
Okay. Let me start with the future of AI.
Okay.
Right now, the term AI seems to have been taken over by the large language models, right?
Yes.
Right. So a lot of the times when somebody is saying AI, they're talking of large language models like ChatGPT.
Yeah. When we hear the word AI, ChatGPT is coming to our mind nowadays.
Yes. Now, I want to put a broader context on AI. ChatGPT and them are fantastic, uh, but in many ways, they're often just repeating what they have learned.
Yes.
They're not telling you something new, right? So, in that sense, as somebody uh, yes, of derogatory manner, call them stochastic parrots, right? But they're very good. Don't get me wrong; they're good at what they do because normally I've only in my whole life probably read 100 books, right? When you think about ChatGPT, it's read a million or a billion
Million.
books,
Yeah.
so it's got more perspective on how is this being said. So that's not to trash that. That's very important. Yeah. So, okay. But there are other aspects of intelligence, right? Which we are seeing now with some of these, the DeepSeek V3 and the reasoning models. But again, even in this area, It's more what they've seen and then showing them how to connect. If this is that, then that is that, you know. So again, there's value in that. Um, we've got other aspects of AI. Um, there have been a lot of research, the earlier deep neural networks, right? When it comes to like computer vision for the most part now is very good, much better than humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that aspect in things of recognizing things, that aspect of AI slash machine learning is very well developed and very applicable. You know, especially if you're on a factory line, assembly line. Very useful. There are other aspects of intelligence which, you know, things like planning. Uh, and, you know, even what you'd consider emotional intelligence. Those aspects you generally cannot put, it's much harder
Yeah.
to train on those. So there is still a bit of work to be done in AI, especially if we are trying to do stuff with confidence that this AI is going to use common sense.
Okay. Do you think AI can use the common sense?
This is the challenge, right? So if I'm asking it to summarize this piece of paper or summarize this article, it's very good because yeah, it can read that and say, you know, the breakdown. This is this because it's been trained.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of common sense, at the moment, that's much harder. Right? Because yeah, what is common sense? It's struck that. So you ask me, where do we see AI going?
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that's still being done in general intelligence. I think we are probably going to see a lot more just in specific areas. And in those specific areas, the challenge is going to be who is to blame when there are mistakes.
Okay.
Right? So I can say, you know, AI is 95% better than any human in summarizing a piece of text. But let's suppose you give it a medical text and then it summarizes that, and then that has implications elsewhere. Who is responsible for a mistake in that summarization? Right? Let's say it's summarizing some medical notes and then gives it to somebody, and that somebody has missed something important, and then somebody's health is impacted or well-being. Who is responsible? Right? So even though it's 95% better than everybody, we still have to resolve those issues. In areas where it's mechanical, I was talking of computer vision, like on the factory floor and stuff like that. You can clearly see AI replacing folks and then doing stuff with it. So I see that aspect of AI in more specialized. I know there's a lot of talk on general, but I see it more. We'll see it more and more. As a specialized thing. Second thing I want to say is when I started in industry, this was, or at least, yeah, when I started in industry, that was about 1993. This was when the internet was coming. Right? So at the time, yeah, everything was moving on to the internet. Yeah, I still remember FedEx was one of the first companies, or at least because I worked in a courier company. FedEx was one of the first companies that had a website where you could, track your packages.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the internet was everything is going to be on the internet. Everything is going to be the internet. And then, yeah, we had the bubble burst in 2000, right? Next, we came up with, there was RFID. There was a time when RFID was the craze. RFID was the craze for a couple of years. Everyone. But then you came up, there was the cloud. Everything is going to be on the cloud. You need them. Yes, almost everything, a lot of things are in the cloud, but still, there's other stuff. And then came blockchain. Everything is going to be on a blockchain. Right? AI, now everything's, so there is going to be something after AI. That's
Okay.
what I want. That's the point I'm just trying to get to say, learn the skills that you need, the basic skills, because there is something that's going to come after AI. Yeah. And AI itself, as I mentioned, at least from my perspective, we'll see it a lot more specialized.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. On to your other question of the FinTech Incubator.
Yeah.
I see us probably not to preempt things, but still trying to go and broaden our reach within the Western New England community. Um, Whether we will continue with the residential fellowships, I don't know. Right? We still wait to evaluate. Because when you think about it, our residential fellowship is only getting us 3-4 teams a
Yes.
year. So if we want to scale, we may have to think of another model.
Okay.
Right? So we haven't thought about it. We haven't discussed it. So you're hearing my thoughts right now as the yeah, clearly after this year, and some of our initial sponsors have sponsored us until the end of next year, we may need to reevaluate and say, have we done what we were hoping to do? Can we improve our reach? What worked? What didn't work? Why? And that sort of thing. Yeah, we are looking to expand our faculty engagement. We have a very good faculty team in the computer science. We have a very good faculty team at the law school. We have a very good faculty team at the computer engineering department, right? So we're looking at like a affiliated faculty program. How that will look, what it will look like, that's something else. But if we had those resources on board, we would be able to offer more services to our startups.
Yeah. Okay. Professor, what is your message for the student and startup enthusiast who want to be the part of next cohort of WNA FinTech and AI Incubator? Despite of the model, because we don't know what will be the model now.
No, for now the model, I believe it is, if for next year, more likely be the same. But you asked me the future, so I'm just brainstorming. All I can say is use the opportunity. It's an opportunity that that offers a free space to try out something different. You'll be surprised what you learn about yourself, and you may be surprised what you produce. Yeah. So I encourage the students to say, don't only just say I'm here just for the classes. Learning comes in very different ways, right? You a lot of times working with others learn about yourself, right? Which will help you as you go into the workforce or as you prepare to do other things. You'll be saying, oh, I didn't know I was good at this. or I didn't know I didn't like this, So when you are involved with others at this level, which is not for a grade, yeah, often students that get into teams for a grade
For
and
example.
then they're out. This is kind of like saying, hey, we want to make this work for us, and if it does work, this is going to be our livelihood. So you're approaching it from a different perspective. And I would encourage people to try it out. Um, and even if you think you're going to end up working at a company, the experience carries over to a company. A lot of companies are trying to get into something new. They're trying to start this. And a person having come through this experience will be able to head up an entrepreneurial part of an existing company and know what needs to be done. Know that I need to get these things lined up. Some basic administration stuff. When you're trying to run your company, you are everything typically all the time. It's not like you can say, oh, it's not my job. Your job is to make sure the company succeeds.
Yeah. Professor, we are almost at the end. So finally, could you share some closing wisdom for the aspiring entrepreneur across the globe?
Okay, I would say number one, don't uh, don't hesitate. You have an idea, get going. Sometimes somebody is already doing it, but you are going to be maybe doing it a little differently. I sometimes say, some people who say don't reinvent the wheel, right? There are a few reasons for don't reinvent the wheel. Yeah, of course, there's reason number one, you don't want to waste time, right? Doing something that somebody has done. But if whatever that wheel is important, you learning how to build that wheel itself is important,
Okay.
right? So if there's, like, let's say, there's a, there's an algorithm, right? You writing that algorithm yourself is important, you understanding what's going on, rather than already taking a prepackaged something that's in a black box, right? So if that algorithm is important for your business, invent that wheel. See, you might do it differently. You might do it more effectively. So there are those who are looking for effectiveness. There are those who may be just saying, oh, don't reinvent the wheel because they're lazy. Okay, fine. All right, that happens. Then there are those who are saying, oh, don't reinvent the wheel because they're selling wheels, right? So if I've got wheels that I'm selling, I'm going to tell everybody, oh, don't reinvent the wheel, buy my wheel, right?
Yeah.
Right? So know why you are using the don't reinvent the wheel. If it's not important and it saves you time, then that's fine. But if you determine that this is a critical piece of technology, do it because you're going to learn something in that. In that process. Okay, so that's one aspect I would say. And then number two, when you are starting your business, be always prepared to pivot, because especially once you start, you are going to find your preconceptions were wrong sometimes. And don't be dogmatic and say, oh, it has to be done this way. Be open to change. And you may find there are other opportunities where, oh, this is where you're actually going to make money, right? Not what you thought it was. So being always be prepared to pivot. It's always easier to turn a moving car than to turn a car that's stationary, right? So
Yeah.
once you're already moving, it's easier to bend and get it to move in another direction. So that builds on number one, that get going. Once you're going, be ready to navigate.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Let's navigate, let's drive the car now.
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect notch to end the podcast. Thank you very much, Professor, for
No,
coming to the podcast. It was pleasure having you, and thank you for sharing about your experience, the AI incubator, WNE FinTech and AI incubator, where our journey started as an entrepreneurship. So it was really pleasure having you and learning a lot from you. There are a lot of great takeaway for me personally from this podcast, and I'm sure there will be a lot of great takeaway for the our listener who is watching our podcast.
No,
Thank you very much
thank you
for
for having me too.
yeah.
It
Thank
was
you,
a pleasure being here.
thank you, Professor.